Welcome to the show. My friends are here with me today, rocking as always, the amazing Preet and lovely Monica. Guys, welcome to the show.
How are you?
I'm great, Preet. How are you doing? You guys are dazzling as well.
Wonderful, thanks to you. So talking about dazzling, I do want to talk about Amber Dazzle, which Amber is always dazzling, but the
makeup, my friends.
The makeup, the line, makeup line she has, if you all have not checked it out, make sure to do so. The lipsticks, the eyeshadows, and all of that stuff.
Thank you, guys. And you know, that's the reason. You know, you get support from your friends, and it makes you just even do more, right, guys?
You're doing good, Amber, and you're going to go places very soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Take it in writing, you know.
Very
soon. Take it in writing.
I should, right?
Yes, we're recording it. So, Amber.
So, tell me, what are we discussing today? What are your thoughts?
We thought, like, since you're from Pakistan, I'm from India. She's also from India, but different religion, you know. She's Hindu and she's married to a Christian, and I'm a Sardani, Punjabi, and you are from Pakistan. So why not let's discuss about the religion and we get together.
The cultural differences.
Not only differences, everything, even the similarities.
I think more than religion, it's the spirituality that we should concentrate on. Religion, again, you know, I mean, that's my belief. It's more like man-made. Spirituality is our own connection to the higher power.
Exactly.
In whichever way we may, you know, pray to Him.
It's true. That's so true.
So spiritual level, especially when it comes to relationships, like, you know, living in one home, having similar spiritual beliefs versus different ones.
Exactly.
How does that work, Amber?
You know, it's a lot of times what I see is both like people might not share the same ideas when it comes to spirituality or religion.
Sure.
But we should embrace each other, you know, we should embrace the fact that you are from a different culture, different religion background, and we should love one another. You know, the message should always be of love, peace, and, you know, and trying to embrace and, you know, giving each other space to practice your own belief. I think that is so important when, you know, you have to practice your faith. Absolutely. What do you think, Preet? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it should not be limited to church, gurdwara or temple. It should be beyond that. It should be the children should be involved, the relationship should be involved, the friends should be involved in all the religion activities. Like they should participate in the
community activities also.
The traditions, the festivals.
Follow the tradition.
Follow the festival. And that's what we do here. We're here in America, US, and we do participate in all the festivals, right?
Yes. That one thing I have to say, you know, even being in India, being brought up somewhat there, you know, I got to experience. We, you know, as well. There were all different religions there. There were Christianity. There's Catholic. You know, then there's of course Islam. There's Sikh, and then Hindu. So there's this everything that we got to experience as we were growing up. And I was never told. You know, my parents were very, you know, lenient or whatever.
Liberal.
You know, they were very liberal. They were very open-minded.
Same here.
I mean, we went to convent school where we were. You know, we grew up in that atmosphere. Then, of course, there's Eid that we used to celebrate. We used to wait for that biryani. Oh my gosh.
All the amazing food.
You know, and then Guru Purab right after Diwali happened. So, you know, the different festivals were not because it's a different religion. It was just a reason to get together. A reason to just celebrate and have fun. You know?
And over here, we have a lot of friends with different religion, and we get together almost every weekend, and we have a good time. You know, we just party. We just forget about she belongs to that particular thing. She belongs. We don't do that. Right, Amber?
I know, you know, and you know that is again the mess. Like I mentioned to you earlier, the message of tolerance and like giving, and you know, to be and for me, it's like when I meet people of different diversity, I feel like I get more enriched, you know, and I feel it brings me more joy and more love, because it's all about loving each other, you know, regardless of what skin, color, race, religion, or culture you're from, you know, having that acceptance, especially in this hostile world when you're seeing so much going on, you know, and we all have to practice peace more than anything. What do you guys
definitely.
Humanity should be the biggest religion that we should follow. Treat each other like
very well said.
Humanity is the universal word here.
Yes. Humanity. So thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys again next week. I'm your host Amber, along with me again Monica and Preet Sanga.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, welcome viewers to Health and Wellness with Dr. Shabnam on Amber Dazzle Show. And today I have my favorite gastroenterologist, Dr. Balu Chandra. And Dr. Chandra is a gastroenterologist who specializes in the liver disease. He's a fellow of AGA. He's the chief of staff at North Hills Hospital and top doc in Fort Worth 2019 magazine. Dr. Chandra, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Shabnam. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Thank you for coming. So we decided to talk about liver today. And you have a special interest with the liver disease and treatment. And the most common disease that I see in my patient, being a family physician, is fatty liver. What do you think about it?
You're absolutely right. The fatty liver disease today is a big problem. Now there are estimates that about 33% of Americans have fatty liver, especially in the adult population. There's a lot of childhood obesity, as you've seen. There are children, up to about 6% of them are diagnosed with fatty liver disease. If you look back at the history of fatty liver disease has been mostly documented in alcoholics. Alcohol is a toxin to the liver, and it allows the fat to accumulate as a degenerative gene in the liver. And we used to see a lot of fatty liver disease. But recently, with the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and the obesity epidemic, we are diagnosing a lot of advanced liver disease in patients with who have never had alcohol. So that's when this whole attention to fatty liver disease has become very well known, and we've been diagnosing a lot more fatty liver disease. People are paying attention to it. The way fat accumulates, there are several mechanisms. The fat accumulates in the liver. Some of it is the fat never gets out of the liver, or there's too much fat coming into the liver, which is the overnutrition that is the most common cause of this non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So this is what we're dealing with nowadays.
So what my understanding is, and for my viewers also, fat that is coming from, of course, gaining weight and obesity, as well as alcohol, they are equally bad for your liver. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we need to work on both of the aspects of our diet as well as the lifestyle in order to prevent us from having fatty liver. So we will talk about more. So how common is fatty liver, and what kind of population do you normally see with fatty liver?
The one common denominator of fatty liver disease is overweight. As you know, fatty liver has been found in diabetics for a long time, and there was the association was not understood. In general, if you're overweight, especially men with waist sizes more than 40 inches, women with waist sizes more than 36 inches, high cholesterol, family history, and if your weight BMI is over 30 or 35, you're a prime target for fatty liver disease. Most commonly, they pick the fatty liver when they have a test for something else, such as an ultrasound, when they had some gallbladder issues, or they go for one surgery, or they have a CT scan or an MRI for something else, and they pick up this fatty liver disease. Because generally, fatty liver patients are asymptomatic. Routinely, what internal medicine and family medicine doctors found out was they have a mild elevation in their liver enzymes, nothing much. So most commonly, those are the tests we use to diagnose fatty liver.
So you use ultrasound and blood test, as well as there are some new technologies that are being introduced to diagnose the fatty liver, which are very good and they're painless. And would you want to talk about some FibroScan?
You're absolutely right. There are two ways we have. So fatty liver by itself is not a big problem, but there is a subset of population that has fatty liver will develop inflammation. Those are called the steatohepatitis, which can be non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Anywhere in the body you have inflammation, it ultimately leads to fibrosis. In liver, fibrosis is ongoing, and if it continues that for about 20 years or so, you have the risk of developing cirrhosis. So one of the most important things when they come to our practice about the fatty liver is we want to diagnose these patients. Do they have inflammation? Do they have fibrosis? Or are they going towards cirrhosis? So that's what we're trying to establish. So there we have some blood tests that can give us a gauge, pointing which way do they have fibrosis or not. Then now we have the FibroScan, which is a kind of a modified ultrasound technique that can give us if the liver elasticity and the hardness of the liver that indirectly tells us about fibrosis. The gold standard to diagnose fibrosis would be a liver biopsy.
Liver biopsy, yes. But not everybody goes through the liver biopsy. It depends upon how you see the patient and if the patient is a good candidate for biopsy or not. So how do you manage the fatty liver?
So the cornerstone for fatty liver disease, of course, is going to be weight reduction.
Absolutely.
But you want to lose at least 10% of weight of your total body weight. If you can lose that 10%, only then you will see some improvement in the steatosis of the fat in the liver. There are a lot of things people can do in terms of their diet. One of the diet that has shown to be very helpful for fatty liver disease patients is the Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet is kind of a plant-based and natural food and fish-based. These are for people around the Mediterranean part of the world that follows. So it's a very friendly diet, and it has shown to be helpful. Some of the other things that has been found to helpful is coffee has shown to decrease inflammation in the liver. Tea actually decreases fat absorption. Some of the fatty fish, which are high in omega-3, they are shown to decrease fatty liver disease. Of course, then you have all the antioxidants. I'm sure yours will like is the dark chocolate is one of the antioxidants. So there are a lot of antioxidants we use in fatty liver disease management.
So not only the diet, weight loss, as well as there are some supplements that are also available that we have been using that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids that are showing promising results in treating the fatty liver. And to my interest, I have several patients who have lost weight. They lost 25, 30 pounds, and you see their liver enzymes beautifully coming down, and on ultrasound, their liver looks much better and healthier.
Absolutely.
And how can we prevent, again, you did answer some of the questions, but how can we prevent, how we tell our patients and viewers how they can not get fatty liver?
One of the things, this question comes up in our practice all the time. So one of the things I tell them is no sugar and sodas. And all the processed foods, especially watch your pasta, bread, all the intake of processed sugars, and stick more to the natural sugars, especially the sugars in berries, which is helpful. And then one of the other things I tell people is to cut down or give up red meats, especially if you have quite a bit of inflammation. And again, alcohol is another thing that you cannot use if you already have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and then use of Tylenol in more than about 1 to 2 grams is important. And we definitely need to be screening them for cirrhosis of the liver.
Exactly.
Because that's very important. Because once you have cirrhosis, it's irreversible. The only treatment at that point will become liver transplantation.
Exactly.
And in cirrhosis also, you can be compensated or or decompensated. So you will need close follow-up at that point.
And if, correct me if I'm wrong, the liver cirrhosis, it has been becoming very common lately due to the alcoholic fatty liver disease as well as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and it is turning into liver cancer.
Absolutely. I've been practicing for over 20 years. In the last 10 years or so, we are seeing more and more older women in their 70s who have never had a drop of alcohol presenting a cirrhosis of the liver.
Yes.
So one of the key things, what you used to call is unknown cause or cryptogenic cirrhosis, we're finding out most of them are the fatty liver disease. So it's very important. And of course, cirrhosis itself is a risk factor for liver cancer. Even though the incidence is low, you need to be monitored for this.
Great. So the wrap up of this session, very valuable information: diet, exercise, losing weight. Do not become overweight or obese. And if you are overweight or obese, then consult your doctor to lose weight. Eat healthy. More of the Mediterranean diet. Fatty fish, when you mention fatty fish, I want to say that wild-caught Atlantic salmon, that is considered to be one of the best fish in the market, and there are some more. Try to eat as organic as possible, as fresh as possible. Try to avoid processed foods and sugar, which causes inflammation. And when you have done everything, consult with your doctor so that they can screen you to see if you have any liver problems or not. And if you are becoming one of those, then try to limit your diet, which is high in sugar as well as alcohol. Alcohol is okay, but it has to be in moderation. But once we are diagnosed with fatty liver or any liver problem, then alcohol is something that is not considered to be very helpful or healthy. So you should avoid that. Thank you so much, Dr. Chandra, for coming on the show and giving such a valuable information to our viewers about fatty liver, and hope to see you next week.
This is Fahad on my segment Connect with Fahad only on Amber Dazzle Show. Today's with a different topic, different segment in my show. Today my guest is not a boy, a young man who is 17 years old, and I want him to come to my segment and talk about what he feels, what's going on in the world, and what is his point of view. So I want to welcome Mustafa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you nervous? Sitting with me?
Yeah, no.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, so he's my celebrity today, and I want him to tell me, as a 17-year-old boy or a young man, what do you feel? What's going on in the world? What is your perspective? What is your point of view?
I guess my point of view on lots of world events is that there's a lot that needs to be done. Okay. In many instances, we see lots of injustices happening all around the world, and numerous people being oppressed based on their beliefs. Like, take what happened in New Zealand, like a week or two ago. Those events were actually incredibly depressing and horrendous, and they needed to be. And I think that as a society and as a world as a whole, we need to be better. When it comes to those kind of things.
So you want peace in the world, right?
Yeah, because I think that, it would be amazing if, we could all just come together as one,
A nation as a one.
Yeah, and I think that it doesn't start at the national level, it starts at, humanity. All of us need to come together as humans, not just as nations.
So you believe in humanity?
Yes. My brother and I, we both went to Habitat for Humanity, and we helped build a house with Habitat for Humanity. What did we do? So we helped, pick up these giant things to build a roof, and then we also painted the walls of the house. We laid down sod. We did all the things that are required, when building a house for the less fortunate.
So what is your goal in life?
In life, I would like to become an oncologist.
Oncologist?
Yeah.
Why oncologist?
So I would like to be an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor. I would like to be that because in the 5th grade, one of my best friends, he actually passed away from cancer. He had neuroblastoma and leukemia. So, since then, I just got interested in, cancer, and I guess that all just added on to me wanting to help others and such.
So, profession, doctor, you want to be a doctor, and it's a very good profession, very noble profession, and you can make a lot of money. So, what is your priority? Money or serving people?
Yeah, no, I think my priority would be, serving people. Because there's lots of ways to make lots of money, that doesn't mean you just have to become a doctor. And that wouldn't be like my main focus. My main focus would be, you know, how can I help these people as best as I can, to the best of my ability.
So this is your goal. Thank you very much for your time. And I love this segment. I interviewed so many people, so many celebrities all around the world. But talking to this young man, and he's talking from his heart. And I love this segment. Thank you very much for coming on my segment. This is my segment connected Fahad only on Amber Dazzle Show. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hey, Ali, so we're back on set. Hi. And I'm very excited to be here. And so what, you know, when you go out, what are the type of looks that you like to go out, like for a date night or?
Well, typically I like it a little bit more neutral, but there is an outfit that I just want like a pop of glitter, just like on my eyelid, and just a good lash and just pretty skin. I love that look.
Awesome, so I'm very excited here today. We're gonna be using both the palettes from Amber Dazzle's line, the Jewel palette as well as Fashion Runway. And I'm gonna kind of show different eyeshadows to kind of create that pop glitter and something that you can use. It's very easy to do and you can go out and do that as well. So, So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one is gonna be from the Fashion Runway palette. So I'm gonna take a brush that we can just kind of have a transition color and start off with London, which is a very, you know, bright color. And I like to start off with something light like that on the base. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on both the eyes. And I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. So what this helps is it helps really bring out the other pigments as well. So I'm gonna kind of just put that all over. And go ahead and go on with the other eye as well. And then the next color that I'm gonna go ahead and use is gonna be from the Jewel palette. And I'm gonna take a buffing brush as well. And the color that I like here, that I really like, is Amber, right here. And I'm gonna use that just to kind of build on both the eyes. I'm just gonna go on in the lid. And kind of pat that in on the other side as well. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back into the Fashion Runway palette. And I'm gonna use actually one of my most favorite colors in the palette, which is Singapore. I think it's just a really pretty dusty plum color. And I'm gonna go in on the inner corners as well as the outer corners. And go ahead and pick up more product. And you want to go up just a little bit on the brow bone, not too high up, and just kind of start building the color in. So I'm going to go ahead and pick more product and start building. So Ali, what do you feel about using like bright colors on your lids and kind of to go with your outfits? Is that something that you like to do?
I don't know. Sometimes it just depends. I feel like there's no in between with me. I either am just no makeup, nothing, or I'm just full out drag queen. Exactly. So there's no in between, but I do think a little pop of color, especially if you have an eye color or something that you're wearing, it just really catches the eye if you're wearing something that pops.
Yeah, so that's what I definitely think today. We're gonna do that pop look, you know, with a lot of glitter, a lot of fun, you know, like something for girls' night out, just, you know, something that will really catch the other person's attention as well. And it's very easy, like it doesn't take too much time to do. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep building those colors, one on top of another, and just keep blending it out. And then I'm gonna take another flat brush, and what we're gonna do is go in with Fluorescence, which is this color right here, and just keep patting that onto the lid. So what this does is it kind of creates a nice depth on the lid. And we just kind of keep patting that in. It's so pretty. Okay, and then we keep patting that
I feel like that pigment, that certain pigment, the kind of reddish, is really versatile too. Like it looks good on brown eyes and green eyes, and it's just a really pretty color on everybody, I feel like.
Yeah, do you want to take a look at just like I haven't added the glitter yet, but this is a very subtle shimmer, which is something that you can also do.
Right.
And just to kind of take it up a notch a little bit, we're gonna add the glitter and just see how that looks. But it's a really pretty look just as is like that. So we're gonna go in with Shanghai, which is the glittery rose gold. And I'm gonna pick that up with just an angled brush. So I'm gonna pick that up, the color Shanghai. And we're just gonna, with the glitter, the key is you just wanna lightly tap that in. You don't wanna buff glitter in ever because it tends to, you know, fall and you'll have a lot of fallout. So what I like to do is just kind of tap that product in. So you see how glittery and beautiful that looks?
Oh my gosh.
It's just
that is so fun.
It's like a very quick, like 2-second thing. Like I feel like anyone can do it. You can even do this with like your index finger and just kind of, or just use a brush, and then you just lightly tap that in.
And the nice thing about that glitter is it's kind of a cream, so that it kind of just catches onto your skin so naturally. Exactly. A lot of glitters out there are just free glitter. Yeah. So right when you put it on, you immediately have disaster on your hands. Yes. But this one's more of a cream base, and that's what I really like about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, as you can see, there's like absolutely no fallout, and I'm applying it straight from a brush onto her eyes, and there's no fallout, and you don't have to use any sort of like, you know, glitter primer or any of that. So it just makes it very easy.
That's really nice.
And it doesn't make it a mess either. And that's kind of one of my favorite things about the glitter itself. And then from that, what we're gonna do is just go in with Bali, and I'm gonna take the buffering brush and blend Bali with the darkest color on the palette on the bottom left, and mix the two colors. And that's how I'm gonna darken up the eyes and just kind of smoke them out. And this is very optional. So I feel like with makeup, the best thing is there's no rules to it. So you can really just do whatever you're in the mood for. So if you want to smoke it out, if you want to just keep it subtle, it's really just all up to you. So just kind of smoke that out. So the final step that I'm going to do is go in with a highlighting brush and just pick up some product of Chicago and tap off the excess and just kind of, you know, highlight right below the brow, on the brow bone, and same thing on the other side. Just gonna pick up a little bit more of the product and just highlight that side as well. And then I'm gonna just go back in with the glitter just on my ring finger and just apply it again right on the lid, just to create a little bit more shine there. Okay, and Allie, do you want to take a look and see what you think about the look?
Oh my gosh, it's perfect with my dress.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and I absolutely love like the look on it, and it really only took a matter of minutes to create this look, and I think it's so simple that really anyone can do it. And we've used the two fabulous palettes, the Amber Dazzle Jewel palette as well as the Fashion Runway. Please do follow my Instagram page to follow more looks and more products of Amber Dazzle at Kismet Creations by Shally.
And you can also follow me on my personal Instagram, Allie J. Drake.
And guys, please don't forget to subscribe to YouTube at Amber Dazzle, and can't wait to be back on the set to show you guys more interesting products. Thank you so much.
The preceding was paid program paid by Amber Dazzle. Promotional consideration is paid by following advertisers.